Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome to another Racial Aliens video. Guys, this one will be a test of the brand new patch. We have now the introduction of preset teams. We're going to go through and how those work and if it actually is a great deal. So the first things first, the way that this works is that you need to set your teams for either the dungeons, faction wars, or whatever, and that's where you need to set your presets. So let's say in the classic arena, you're gonna have your defensive team and you're gonna have your offensive team. So offensive team, you need to preset your team right here. You go to team setup, and then that's where you set up your team. So that's how you will be setting up your offense. Let's say I will put my arbiter in there, and let me see, arbiter, and then let's say I have my warlord, and then I have my, where is it, let's say I've got Lysandra in there, and then finally I'm gonna have my I don't know, my nuker. So where's my nuker? So it's gonna be my Tranda. So this will be my team. So let's test out on how this works. I've actually seen it a little bit. So let's say we want to change on how Arbiter works with her A3. Basically, she does A3 on the opener. Let's say for some kind of reason we didn't want her to be doing this as an opener. We can click this away and say don't use, so she'll never be using her A3. But of course that doesn't make sense. You'll never want Arbiter to not use her A3. That's what you want her to be doing. So that's first choice. Always use if available. So let's say we always want to use this A3 when it's available. So next up, it's going to be Warlord. Again, the same thing. Warlord's AI has some issues, so definitely you want to go here, click the default, click first choice, always use when available. So that's what you want to be doing. Having Warlord always uses A3. And the same thing goes with Lysandra. Always use when available her A3, and then Chanda. Maybe you can do this on her Forge Rhythm, her A3. You want to be using this as an opener. Always use it on the first round, and after that, just have the normal AI go, or just have that always as an opener, and then on the remaining targets, have this as a don't ever use this again. So basically, only use it once, and then on the remaining enemies, don't ever use it, and she'll be probably using her A1 and A2. So that's definitely cool. I would say always use when available, because it's really a really important skill. So I think maybe I should have done this on Warlord as well. And then the same thing with Lysandra and Arbiter. So this would be my first preset team, and this would be the team that I would be using, let's say, on offense. So there it is, and then I could probably switch around a second team in there, and click that, and immediately that's the team. You go here, you click here, immediately changes to your team and how the skill presets are. So I think this is a fantastic addition to the game. That's what we needed, honestly. That's what we needed, so you can have many different teams available, and depending on the setup that you want to run against each kind of defensive setup. I'm just loving the setup, and it's something that we needed maybe a long time ago before players started quitting. So what I wanted to show in this video is something that I was thinking about from the very first second that this patch was going to be released. So let's go over to the Fire Knight's castle. Let's say we want to try out stage 25. So stage 25 is, of course, this stage right here. It's a big stage. There are some issues with this stage in the sense of how you control the thermometer. What I want to show you guys is this, okay? I'm going to put in my Armiger in there, and we're going to have this team as my, let's see, where's my Armiger? I'm going to have my Armiger in there because I want to actually set up his skills so that he does this in a very specific. So let's say I want to be using this team for Fire Knight 20. I'm going to go in and set their skills right. So Seer, always want to have her A3 going. Lydia, always her A2. Archmage, he does it anyway. Allure, I always want her to be doing her A1 regardless of anything else. So what I want to do with her is let's have her A1 always as an opener, and then never use her A2, and then can we do never use her A3? There we go. So she'll be basically using only her A1 regardless of how much thermometer the boss has. She'll be using her A1. I don't care if the boss is at 10%. Use your A1, Allure. And then finally, Armiger. He is the champion that I was really hoping that this patch would bring in some more play. play around with Armiger. You guys know that his A2 does damage based on enemy max HP. It's a very short cooldown. I'm running him always with the relentless set so he gets as many turns as possible. He's got pretty good amount of stats. We actually can see them here on the right. And I have lay to rest, always use if available, because in the past he would use his A1, which is the thermometer reduction, and that would give me a lot of issues. That would give me a lot of issues because when he would be using his A1, then I would be missing out on a ton of damage. But then, okay, at least he was controlling the boss. Now that I have somebody else, which is a lure for my thermometer control, I don't care about Armageddon's thermometer control. I want him there for damage. So that's what we will be looking for in this team. So let's use this team. Let's click on here, and then let's just go and see how this goes. So we're going to go through the waves pretty easily with Seer. That's a granted. You need the Seer burst to go through the waves in a matter of seconds. So I'll just skip this right to the boss. So 36 seconds, we reach the boss. That's when we want to see on how this team will work and if Armiger will be using and doing a ton of damage on the boss. So we got to get those shields down. Fortunately, it's 12 shields, which is a lot for this boss. So we got to get those down for sure. Lure goes here. She reduces it by a little bit. There is the lay to rest. Might have some issues here. Come on, Allure, take another turn. Nope, she didn't take a turn. Okay, we still survived. We still survived. We're still gonna have our shot here and see how this goes. Okay, we got an extra turn going. Okay, there's a lure. She is going to be spamming her A1 now. So we're going to have maintain some thermometer control. So there's Armiger's latest. Look at that, 269,000. That's the maximum. So I could definitely up his speed and then lower his gear requirements. There it is. There's the extra turn. He's going to be using A2. Look at that. Then it should be Seer next doing her burst. Another A1. Want to see some funny procs with later. Look at that, 269 plus the War Master. That's 300,000 damage from Armiger. Just got a little bit unlucky in the beginning with getting that thermometer going. So now he is using the thermometer reduction, but it's because his A2 is on cooldown. So look at that, 269,000. We also get the block revive there. Fantastic. It works as it's supposed to. I'm so excited about this. It gives so many options now for Armiger. You can actually go in and change his gear so much. I would definitely go to my Armiger and rethink on how to build his gear on my main account, not on the test server, because the test server just, it feels like too much effort and then you lose all the progress that you do. So the regearing that I would do is try to limit the amount of damage that he can do by just decreasing the critical damage, because he's already at the cap, at the maximum when there's a defense down and a weaken. So I could drop him maybe to 170 critical damage and up his speed a lot. So when I do that, then maybe he'll actually have more consistent hits with his A2, and damage will still be the same at 269k on the Fire Knight compared to what it is with 223. You don't need the 223, and I think this patch is one of the best patch ever. The teams that will rise just through all the community just working together and thinking of different setups, and one of them being Armiger. There's so many champions out there that benefit from this AI change. I want to see the community going. Which champion do you guys think will actually be like Armiger, that he would need this desperate change in his AI, and it really gets to go forward with this patch? So leave it down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and guys, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.